Hello guys, this is Alan coming at you with a video. Today I will be flashing my AT&T branded Galaxy S8 Plus to the unbranded Galaxy S8 Plus firmware. Now, most of you watching this video should know that the AT&T version or any other version for that matter, T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, um, it has carrier apps that's loaded as default, which I hate. AT&T has a lot of garbage included with it. It has the ugly AT&T boot logo and those stupid AT&T ringtones and notifications. I hate them so much. All right, so I'm just gonna flash the unbranded firmware, which is basically the unlocked Galaxy S8 Plus firmware. That firmware, the unlocked firmware, has no carrier apps, no bloat whatsoever. The only thing you may want to be, may want to think over, you will lose voice over LTE, you will lose Wi-Fi calling, and all of those good features. Like I know AT&T, they have the video calling right in the Samsung dialer, but who uses that? We have WhatsApp, we have Facebook Messenger. Nobody uses AT&T video calling, okay? And I just hate the video call button that's in the Samsung dialer. I hate it. So that's what I'm gonna do today. Basically, flash the unlocked firmware to my S8 Plus so I can have no bloat. And I don't really care about voice over LTE, and I don't care about Wi-Fi calling because I never use those at all. Voice over LTE, of course, I use when I make a call, but where I live at in Pennsylvania, it's not good. Driving with driving on a call with voice over LTE, it keeps on cutting in and out, um, because of all the trees and everything like that. So I don't really care for those, and I'm guessing there might be some battery savings as well if those features are not included. I may be wrong, but I'm just aiming for the carrier free bloat, debloat the whole phone. Let me plug in my laptop here. Okay. All right. So basically, I have three links in the description. The first link is to the Samsung USB driver. Of course, we need this. So you can head over to this Samsung developer site, download the USB driver, unzip it, install it. Easy as pie. Second link is to a website that hosts, you know, Odin files, Samsung firmware files. The link I included in the description is directly to the latest Odin files for the G955U one. So basically, that's the unlocked Galaxy S8 Plus. Um, that's the latest one out right now, with the August security patches, I believe. And yeah, so that's the latest one. I don't want any other one but the latest one. And in my case, I'm going for the G955U1. That's the unlocked SA Plus with no bloat in it. So just had to hit this red download button, download that file, unzip, and you should get 4 files, which look like this: APBLCP, CSC, and home. CSC. Okay, so you'll get those 4 files when you download and unzip that. The last link we need is Odin, which will help us flash the unlocked firmware. Well, let me get that confused. The unlocked Galaxy S8 Plus's firmware. It won't sim unlock your phone. Just remember this. It just flashes the firmware. So if your phone is still, it just flashes the firmware. If your phone is still locked to another carrier, it's going to stay locked. You have to, you know, do other things, get unlock codes and whatnot to sim unlock it. This does not. This whole process does not sim unlock your phone. All right. All right, so yeah, so this is the third link is the Odin. We need a special version, Prince Comsy version, so we can flash these files to our carrier branded S8 pluses. All right, so download that, unzip. All right, let's start. So we don't have to have our phones plugged in now, so we can unplug those. Um, you should already have installed the USB drivers. All right, so the next thing we want to do is open up Odin, and we get to the screen here. All right, so this is where we're gonna load those four firmware files that we downloaded and extracted. So first, let's hit the BL button, and we choose. You go to wherever you extracted those firmware files. Mine is already here, and since we clicked on the BL button, we want to choose the corresponding file, the BL file. So we click that. Let Odin load. All right, we click on the AP button. We click on the corresponding AP file. Let Odin load that. And the AP takes the longest because it is the biggest file there. So we'll wait for that to load up. And you'll know it's loaded once the file name populates in this box right next to the AP button. Okay. Now while that loads, I have heard that the debloat free version, the unlocked S8 Plus's firmware, has a massive improvement in battery life. So I'm interested in seeing how this goes. Um, Usually I don't use the Facebook app. Once I use the Facebook app, I notice my battery drops on any phone. That app is horrible. I just go to the mobile site and I have to download the Messenger because of course you can't use Messenger on the mobile site. Damn Facebook. But yeah, that's off topic. But back to the main point here. I'm still waiting for that AP file to load. Now, naturally, the faster your computer, the faster this will load. But hey, all right. So the AP file's loaded. Now let's click on the CP button. We load the corresponding CP file. That should be quick. Now CSC. Now there's two CSCs we can choose from. Basically, the home CSC doesn't erase your data. So all your apps will still be intact. Anything on your internal storage will still be there. Your files, your music, pictures, etc., etc. Um, you can use that if you want to in the CSC field, but I always use the regular CSC, which will factory data reset the phone. All right. I don't want to carry I don't want to carry any data from another firmware into this firmware. It might cause issues. So I'm going to use the CSC um, OYM. Now, if you do decide to use the CSC OYM, please back up your data before doing this because everything will be lost. All right. So the next thing we need to do here is put our phone into download mode so we can start flashing it. So we'll just turn off the phone here. Wait for that to turn off. All right. So now to put the phone into download mode, I'm going to do it off screen here. We have to hold the Bixby button, hold the volume down button, and then while you keep those two buttons held down, hold the power button. Now once the phone comes back on, with those three buttons pressed, it will be on this screen here. Warning, warning, blah, blah, blah. We don't care. So just hit the volume up button and that throws the phone into download mode. Alright, so after the phone is in download mode, go ahead and plug it into your computer. Odin will recognize because it'll recognize the communication port it's connected to. So it's connected to COM3. Odin knows there. Odin knows my phone is there connected. And all we have to do here is click on start. Odin will do a file analysis and start flashing away. Now this will take a couple of minutes, so I will fast forward this part of the video, okay? Once it starts flashing. So once after the file analysis is done, you'll see the flash in progress in this first box here to the left. And once it starts, I will fast forward the video. Okay, we're coming to the end here. Let's flash in the last little bit of files. Alright, so the phone will reboot, and it will reboot automatically into the recovery, do its factory reset. That's if you chose the CSCOYM. If you chose the home CSC, I don't think it would do this part. It would just boot right into the firmware. But if you get any boot loops, if you use the home CSC and you get boot loops or it doesn't boot properly, you might want to manually reboot into recovery and do a factory data reset. Okay, so after it does that automatic reset, boot logo, all you will see is Samsung. You won't see any carrier logo, which I'm so happy. And we'll boot right to the setup screen. Okay, and that's how you flash the unbranded firmware to your Carrier S8 Plus. Now, in this video, the files I linked only applies to the G955. That is the Galaxy S8 Plus. Now, if you have a Galaxy S8, the G950, you can use the same process in this video, but you will have to download the firmware files for G950U1. Okay? Don't flash G955 files to your G950. I don't know if it'll cause any problems, but you don't want to find out unless you want to have an expensive paperweight. All right? So just download the correct firmware files for your phone. Um, and you can use the same process here in this video to unbrand, debloat your phone. So as you can see, there we go. You might notice that the signal bars, LTE icons might look different. That's because it's just the unbranded version. Um, yeah, but that's basically it. You go through the setup, and once you get into the phone, you should notice that there's no carrier bloat, and you should be good to go. If you have any more questions, just feel free to comment under the video. Thanks, guys. Have a nice day.